What we're going to talk about is just simply generating leads with AUTONAR. Now, I don't know if you know what AUTONAR is, but if you don't, you got to get with the times, especially as a realtor, as a loan officer. It's a very simple but powerful tool that can help you generate leads. And the leads you generate are tied directly to what you offer people or what you have to offer your potential clients, prospects, and so on. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about that here in just 1 second so you guys have a better understanding. But as always, we're going to start with, hold on. Okay. As always, we're going to start with first things first. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to mute yourself. All I ask is that you please mute yourself right back up so that we can minimize our background noise as well. Just want to give you an update. We are 1 week away from the finalizing the Thanksgiving dinner giveaway. Because of the donations that we have been receiving, we've increased the number of families that are going to be receiving the dinners themselves. And it's a big deal because I will tell you that there's a very direct correlation in life, in the universe, that says that the more we give, the more we receive. And so there's a direct correlation between what you give and what you receive. And so I've always made it a point in my life to give. That's just the way I've always been. And when I've had a lot, I've given a lot. And when I've had little to nothing, I gave even more. Because I'm telling you right now, it's if you're going to put out energy, that's what you want to put out into the universe. And it just has a way of coming back to you. I'll share, I wouldn't call it strange, but I'll share a story with you that's ironic that this picture, by the way, I didn't choose it. It's just random that this picture is up. We know that the specialized markets is where it's at. And what I mean by that is here you have a group of police officers, teachers that are all qualified for mortgages, for real estate, and most importantly, they know people who need your services. And so to make a long story longer, what I ended up doing is, did a big giveaway. This is about 2016 that we did this one. I believe this 2015. Anyways, it's been a while back. And the second guy to the right, what ended up happening is that there's a new president for the police officers union, and he's the president. So I called him up because I'm trying to arrange how we're going to select the schools this year because they're open again. And so I decided to work through him. So I called him up and said, hey, my name is Javier Rodriguez. As you know, I'm reaching out to you because we're looking to do some things. He goes, well, I know who you are. I'm like, oh, you do it? He goes, yeah. He goes, you do the financial services? And yeah, or I'm calling you because we have a nonprofit called 4 Kids for Future. We do Thanksgiving dinner. He goes, oh, I know. I've been at your giveaways. I've seen what you guys do. That's really cool. And so that's him. And so I was like, really? He goes, okay. Like, well, just so you know, I do financial services, mortgages, stuff like that. He goes, I know what you do. No, that's cool. Absolutely. What can I do? So the conversation went really well, and then went from well to really good when he says, oh, by the way, my brother is the president of the principals union. And I go, whoa, okay, well, he goes, you can go talk to them through him. And I was like, yeah, if you think that's possible, of course it's possible. My brother, I'll tell him to let you in. And so, man, talk about 2022 setting to be a very busy year across the board because of giving. I mean, I wasn't there for that, but I'm telling you, it has a way of happening every single time. And so that's what we do. We give away a box, and the box has a turkey and everything you need for the dinner. Veggies, potatoes, and carrots, and gravy, and mashed potatoes. I mean, just everything that a family could possibly need for their dinner. And then we just simply bring them on. We usually do around 5 per school. And what's really unique about this is that we only focus on families that need it. We don't just randomly hand them off to people. The principals know what's going on in the schools because of the teachers, and they invite them to, save their, let them save face. We don't want to embarrass them. They just tell them, come here at 10 a.m. and then they all come at 10, and all 5, we give it to them privately, and that's it. But I really want to thank Mr. Anthony LeBlanc for donating for this great cause. Stephen Bryan as well. Rhett Stafford, very generous donation. Teresa Barrow as well. And I'm telling you, what's unique about this is that we are the only nonprofit organization that I know of, because we are a 501c3 IRS-approved organization, to be honest with you, that I know. Oh, Rhett, can you hear me? Thumbs up? Okay, yeah. Ivan, it's probably you, Ivan. Everybody else can hear me. Check your volume. But like I said, and what's really unique about this is that we are one of the very few. We have to declare, because of the articles of the corporation or incorporation with us. For mine, the president, which is myself, we have to take a stated salaries. And my stated salary is $1 a year is what I take. I need a pay raise, but I've been taking $1 a year for well over a decade now, and that's it. And I don't even get the damn dollar. I don't know where the hell it goes, but that's what the declared is, just $1 a year for me, and that's it. Everything else in its entirety goes to giving. And so I want to thank these 4 great individuals here for donating. It's tax deductible, guys. I guarantee you, when you're doing your taxes, you're going to be like, damn, I should have gotten more deductions. Well, here's your chance, because we are a 501c3. You will get a receipt that will allow you to write off whatever donation you might give us. If you're interested in donating towards this year's Thanksgiving dinner giveaway, you can just point your camera on your phone at this QR code, and the link will pop up for PayPal, and just put in whatever dollar amount you want to give. We have to give the final order to our providers this week, and the more we have, the more we can give. And so please, if you find it in your heart, you can do that. Go ahead and do so. Oh, I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm so sorry, man. I don't know what
no worries.
I got to talk to the guy that typed it up, which was me. But sorry. You know what? Maybe, I don't know. I thought I copied it directly from PayPal, but I'm sorry. But thanks, Stephen. I really appreciate you and all you do. And like I said, for me, it's just the least we can do for this tremendous opportunity as well. Any questions about this from anyone at all? You got the QR code. Just go ahead and scan it with your phone. It will also be able to recorded version of this. It obviously will continue to work at that point as well. What I want to talk to you about is AUTONAR. AUTONAR is a very simple lead collection. It's supposed to be, which I don't know how the hell it came up with that name. It's supposed to be an automated webinar platform. And what that means is that it's an on-demand webinar, which I don't know why they call it that, because it does not have to be, it's not even a webinar, it's a video. So I guess they thought, you do a webinar like I am right now, I record it, then I file it somewhere. That's why they call it auto webinar. I don't know, but I think it's a stupid name because it has nothing to do with one or the other. And so what this basically allows you to do, which I'm going to actually show you right now, it's very simple. All it does is a one-trick pony. It helps you generate leads by simply capturing people interested in something that you have to give. I'll give you an example. If I was to promote, like right now, if you don't do this, by the way, you got to get with the times. You have to have content. Content is king right now in the world. Content is king. So right now, there's a scramble on the Netflix. They are all based on content. They're buying studios. They're buying archives. They're buying all kinds of everybody because they realize very quickly that content is king. And so what I'm saying is, what kind of content do you have? Doesn't have to be video. It could be, I'll give an example, a first-time home buyer's guide to buying the first home. Very, very simple. Or 10 hacks when buying your first home, or 10 hacks when refinancing your mortgage, or 10. It's all about clickbait, meaning that it makes somebody want to click and somebody have to give up their information to obtain it. I'll give you an example. My wife, she's a health freak, so healthy food, this and that. She's all into that. And so she was telling me how, literally, this happened this morning. We're watching the news and she's telling me how she wants this machine that makes almond milk at home, or I don't know, whatever the hell it is. And so I was trying, and I'm like, I was telling her, well, just tell me the name and I'll buy it for you. I don't care. Just tell me the name. And I go, if you even can find it, because she saw it on Instagram. And I'm like, oh, she's like, oh no, I keep getting their emails. And I'm like, and like, what do you mean? How did they can't take your email from Instagram like that. He goes, oh no, it's just that they won't show me the video until I give them my email. I go, well, they put a bogus one. I mean, shit, you can do that, right? I mean, and so the point of it is that, and sure enough, she's got like freaking 20 emails. So she told me the name of the almond cow. What the hell is an almond cow? But anyways, the point of it is that, but they worked on her like that. It worked. She fell for it. And so what I'm saying is that that's marketing. There was something behind the curtain, if you would, that she wanted to get to. And the gatekeeper was the email capture address. They could capture a name, you could capture a phone number, whatever the hell an email address. And that was her damn almond cow that I got to buy her now. Because I was like, she wouldn't even remember the name. She's like, oh no, I remember the name because I keep getting their emails. So how the hell do they have your? Oh, I had to put it in to watch the video. And so anyways, so now I'm going to buy it right now after this webinar. But the point that I'm making is that you need to do the same thing. So you need to start getting into the proper mindset as you go into 2022 of content, especially if you're new if you want to get yourself going. I think what's really good about being new in the business today is you will only learn it the right way. We work with a lot of dinosaurs, and I'm not saying like in a bad way, but I mean that, they use beepers, for God's sake, back in the day. It's tough, man, to retrain loan officers or realtors that have evolved the whole way. It happens to me. I've been in technology so long that somebody comes along and says, why don't you use this? I'm like, no, because I'm still using that. Like, seriously, man, that has evolved like 5 years ago, but that's all I know. And so the point that I'm making is that I want to help you. Now, before I send you this link, I have to make you aware, this is intended for the MLOs here with us at HMAC and RMB. We have viewers on our webinars, on everything. I get like about 5 to 10 calls or emails or messages a week from MLOs from other companies that they get no training, they get no this. And I tell them the same thing, well, then come here. Yeah, it says that I'm used to this. Well, then stay used to that. But I'm not going to support another broker, another company out of the bank. I can't do that. Nothing personal. But go to them and demand it, if you would, or make a move. It's what you have to do. So I value myself. And so I'm going to give something to you today, but it's going to be only for those that are, again, here with Radian Mortgage Bank, HMAC, part of my team. Nothing personal, but I'm not going out there to try to further the cause or whether, I mean, it's just silly to try to do something like that. Now, before I do that, I do want to ask you guys a question, and that is, before I continue, because I want to get this out of the way, that while I have the actual link saved on my browser, and that is, if you remember, we've been talking about the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Now, the most important person, of course, you will ever lead is yourself. And so that's why leadership is everything. People sometimes confuse being a leader with having a big, massive team or a big company, and that's just not true. It could be there, but 21 irrefutable laws of leadership starts with how to lead yourself. If you cannot lead yourself, you're not going to lead anybody. I'll tell you that right now. And so anyways, to make a long story longer, we talked about last week. Who can tell me what we talked about last week? What was chapter 2?
Law of influence.
Law of influence. What did you learn about it, Stephen? What do you mind me asking over? What intrigued you? What did you like, or whatever?
Well, just, the idea of expanding your influence to other people and figuring out the ways that work for you to do that. It's not throwing darts at a board. It's focused, it's concentrated, and it's planned and plotted out.
Cool. Thank you. And that's very, very true. Anybody else? Any thoughts from anybody that read it? Because I want to give you chapter 2, but like I said, I don't want to give it to nobody's reading the damn thing. It takes time to put together. Anybody? Influence? Anybody that read it? Anybody? I think Steve was the only one. I'm just going to send him a direct email from now on. But come on, somebody had to read it. If not, like I said, you got to learn to start influencing yourself to be able to do that. So let me just go ahead and pull it up real quick. I'll send it to you guys. I just got to get out of this PowerPoint and get the actual link. And here it is. So hold on, just go ahead and pull this up. And I think that because, again, the best course I've ever taken that I actually implemented, because we can take courses, we can read books, but most of the time we don't do a damn thing with it. The one that I can think the most for changing my business life by far has been books on just that, which is, of course, influence, and more precisely the one that we've done here before, of course, which is called, let me just send this. Okay, I got it. Read the chapter, okay, so we're talking, okay, cool. Michael didn't read the chapter, but he bought the book. That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send this to you guys. If you can let me know if it opens up, please, if you don't mind. I just want to make sure you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's there's a course called Mastering Influence, which is the same thing. I learned how to master influence directly, indirectly. Great indirectly is with that principals union president. I haven't even met him, but thankfully I've been able to influence him indirectly through this person that I influenced directly by having him come to our giveaway, which is why I like to bring in people. If you were to ask me what's the number one challenge most people face in mastering anything, is that the lack of patience, I would say. If you're going to be a good MLO, you better be ready to see this thing 1 or 2 cycles. A cycle is a year. So that means you're going to have to see it at least 2 cycles or 2 years, 2 seasons, whatever you want to call it, because it's going to take you time to learn. It's going to take you time to implement. But the magic happens when you have the influence to start generating referrals from clients. You can't have grandkids until you have kids. And sometimes too many people in the business want grandkids already when they haven't even gotten around to making kids. And so that's why it's very important for you to give yourself and pace yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's amazing how people are just hard on themselves. Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't make money. I suck. I wasn't destined for this. I go, why don't you become that hard on yourself as it relates to prospecting and doing something? If you took that energy and you channeled it into the right thing, you'd be so much more successful so fast. It's not even funny. And so anyways, that's what I would recommend as it relates to that. Give yourself enough time for your efforts to compound, but make sure that they are the types of efforts that eventually will compound. And so I'll give you an example. I'm going to share just one thing with you. Let's just say you're on social media and I put in a link. The link is very simple. The link is just going to simply say, click here for your first time homebuyer's guide for 2021. Now, what I would do differently right now, of course, I would call it 2022. I mean, very, very simple. That's all you need to do. Something simple. The simpler, the better. Somebody I was working with this past week asked me, what's the difference between this and now side? Well, it's like comparing a battleship to a rowboat. This is a rowboat. This is a one-trick pony. Very simple, dumb-proof, blah, blah, blah. Whereas now side is what you really want to have on top of this. This is intended to do nothing more, nothing less than capture leads. Now, the question is, the three main things you can capture when it comes to leads are name, email address, and phone number. And so the question is, which of the three do you want? Now, people will say, well, duh, all three. And I always tell them, no, you don't, because everything comes at a price. And so if I'm selling you a car and I say that my car cost, if you say, hey, I want to buy your car, cool. And I tell you, well, the tires cost $10,000, the body costs $20,000, and the rest. I mean, you're like, what? It's too much. It's too complicated. I just know what it's going to cost me. When people give up their privacy or their information, there's a price to it. If you ask me for my name, my email address, and my phone number, you might as well ask me for my damn social security number, because I'm not going to trust you. I'm not going to do it. So to answer that, like my wife, Marcella, I told you the story of her damn almond cow. She gave up the email address. That was fair enough for her. If they ask for the name and the email, less people are going to do it. If you ask for all three, name, email, and phone number, even less people are going to do it. And you're going to probably end up collecting a lot of crap, like bogus emails, Mickey Mouse at Mickey.com, or, that's when you start getting all this other crap. So my recommendation is to always ask for the email address only. And this system that I'm sharing with you right now allows you to do just that. You can collect 1, 2, 3, or whatever you want, or whatever you don't want. And so the way it works is the timing couldn't be better for Marcella. She wanted to know about the stupid almond cow. And there was a gatekeeper, which is a screen, a pop-up like the one that you see here. It wouldn't let her watch the video until she put the email. Now, do people put bogus emails? I do it all the time. But not everybody like her. She actually put in her real one, and now they're hitting her to the point that today I'm buying it. Because I knew when I asked her, what's the name of it? I knew she wasn't going to remember. So I said, damn, I don't have to buy her a damn thing. That's good. I just told her, just give me the name and I'll buy it. And then she says, I don't remember the name, but I keep getting their emails. Right? I'm like, okay. And so that's how I went down. And so again, I'm sharing this ugly screen because I want you to see how simple it can be. But the question that I have for you is, what content do you have to offer people? Now, here's the good news. It doesn't have to be your content. It could be anybody's content, because all you care about is what's on the screen right now. Now, in this one, it's extreme. I would never ask for name, email, and phone number. I just wouldn't do it. But let's just say here, I come in here and whatever. I'm putting John, my email address, and my phone number, whatever. So somebody clicks on register, and where it says register, you can call it to something else. It just says, and there's the video. As you can see, for first time,
what I want you to create.
And so,
welcome to your first time home buyer's guide. So in this, I'm going to walk you through all the steps from the beginning.
He's a mortgage advisor.
So starting where you're at right now, likely renting, and then moving into your first home. And I'm going to show you the steps so that home buying doesn't have to be filled with the anxiety and frustration.
But I'm not going to play the video. But the point that I'm making is that this is a beautiful, beautiful example of how somebody comes here and I just use their actual content. So you don't have to create it, even though I would encourage you to create your own content. Eventually, you can just literally steal other people's or borrow their content, if you would. So here are 12 steps to buying a home in 2021. 2021 FHA, 3.5 down, 500 FICO. I mean, whatever. There's so much content out there, but I would still encourage you to consider creating your own stuff so that you start branding yourself. And so as you can see, this is super, super simple. This is based off. So let's just say I'm going to do, and I'm not doing it, of course, but let's just say step-by-step plan to buying a home. Okay, I like that video. I want to use that as my video. So I'm going to come to the video.
My name is Kyle. I'm a loan advisor with winthehouseyoulove.com. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how.
So what I'm going to do here is I just need to go to copy the link to his video. I copied it right there. And so when you go into the dashboard of AUTONAR, which I think is a stupid name, but anyway, when you come into the dashboard, these are called events. I don't know why the hell they call it events. So don't ask me. But let me just log in. These are called events. So we can see a lead came in right now from what I did right now, but an event. So what I'm going to do when I click on events, on the right-hand side, there's a add event. So I'm telling you, I don't know why they call this, but it's an event. So just call it a landing page or squeeze page, whatever. I'm going to create one. Look how simple it is. This one is called Prepare to Buy a Home. Now, the nice thing about this is there's a description, Javier, MLS, blah, 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 whatever you want to put in there. Now, versus Buy Now button, what do you want it to say if you have them? What's nice about this, you can actually embed your Calendly or we gave you an account to schedule your appointments. You put that there. If there is no buy button, because I don't use them because I already got their email, I'm going to follow up with them. I don't need it. Just leave it blank. So 99% of the time, leave it blank. There's nothing to buy because you're not selling them anything. But after here, 1 minute after, so I'm just going to put it 1 minute after. But again, there's nothing to buy. The video URL, what video? Well, I'm using the video I just showed you right now. Show ads, no. Phone number, no, because I don't want it. I don't want that. So I'm just going to hit add event. That's all there is to it. That's literally all there is to it. So if I go back to events, prepare to buy a home. It's got 0 views. The one I was messing with already got 9 views, just but 0 views here. And what I do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on view. And there it is, prepare to buy. Now, of course, you're going to make it look a little prettier. I mean, I'm just showing you the simplicity behind it. Prepare to buy view video, because you want to know it's a video. Just self-explanatory. They're going to put their name. I don't want to be sending stuff to somebody I know. So let's just say whatever. They click on register, and then the video begins. I mean, very, very, just like my wife fell for it. That's just like she did it with the almond milk, right? Almond cow, whatever the hell it's called, just like that. And so it goes in here. Now, what's nice about this is that in the back office, when I go to my leads, there's Stephanie right there. There's the email address that was put in there, and that was the prepare to buy a home one. So now that I know what it is that got them there. So the nice thing about this is how to refund. Literally, it doesn't matter what the video is. What does matter is how you post it on social media so that they can click on it and you can collect the information. And then you can go ahead and either if you want to request the phone number, you can do so, or just their name and email address is all you need to follow up with them and add them to your email database as well. Either way, let me just back out of here for 1 second, please. Either way, what I'm sharing with you is the fact that this is something that, again, anybody, and I do mean anybody, can do because it's so simple. There's actually a video that actually shows you how kind of what I just did, even though this video is being recorded and you can access it on our YouTube channel. You can go ahead and do that. And so anyways, it's called AUTONAR. If you want one and you're part of, in your NMLS license and you're part of HMAC or Rating Mortgage Bank, I paid for a reseller's account, meaning I get to resell it. I'm not going to resell it to you. I'm just going to give it to you. All I need you to do is complete the form that you see on the screen right now with your email address, your full name, and your cell phone. Understanding that if you're not with us, I'm not going to even reply to it. So as long as you're good with that, people come back and say, hey, I never got this? Well, because you're not with us. Very simple. I mean, you would have followed instructions. You would have known that. And it doesn't have to be awkward for anybody. So what I'm going to do is let me just go ahead and send you the link via, because I don't know exactly who is on. So let me just go ahead and do this. Pull it up. And I just want to get you. Go ahead.
While you're putting that up, let me ask you a question. When you typically use this and you get a name and email address, what's your next steps to try to dive deeper to get more of their information? Do you put them on some type of campaign? What do you do? Like, let's say the next step is to get their phone, the real phone number, or maybe a mailing address or something. So what's your process? Obviously this is the first step because it's easy for them. They don't feel like they're being threatened, name and email. Yeah, I'll give you that all day long. But what's your next steps into getting more information out of? Let's say you got 20 leads, for example. Sure. What would be your next step?
Two things. One of the things that I've said that every MLO needs to have is an autoresponder system, like an email system, eye contact, constant contact, MailChimp, whatever. So you always have to have a mailing series or a mailing autoresponder campaign that when somebody either signs themselves up or you manually add them, immediately it's going to send them an email, and it's going to simply say, Michael, thank you so much for looking into the video on how to buy your first home. My name is Javier Rodriguez. I've been licensed for many years. I can help you find your dream home. With your permission, I'd like to reach out to you to provide you more specific details in regards to your home needs. What would be the best number to reach you at? And if they're going to answer to that, they are. If they're not, they're not. That's at that point. However, that's what the automatic email, the first one goes out saying that. However, every week or two, another email goes out, not just to that person, but to all the other people, all the other persons on your list as well. I want to be very clear about one thing. What you have here, what I'm sharing with you is there's high grade stuff that we do, like going to the police stations, the teachers, presentations in front of them with my PowerPoint about home ownership. And then there's low grade stuff. This is low grade stuff. This is not the kind of stuff you stop your day for. This is what I do on the weekends, or when I'm in Atlanta and I have downtime. I'll prepare all my campaigns that I want to do and I automate all of it because I know that it's low grade stuff. I don't bank my mortgage payment, if you would, making my mortgage payment on that for the simple fact that it's just low grade stuff. It's really low grade stuff. Do not expect too much unless you're throwing a lot of numbers into it, because of the simple fact that most people put in bogus email addresses, or even if they do put good ones, let the automated system, not everything, of course, says, hey, what's the best number I can reach you at to help you customize your housing needs? And as always, you can reach me at, but it's always give them a way to reach out to you, as well as asking them to get them from low grade to mid grade to eventually high grade is when they contact you. And now we're carrying on a conversation about what it is that you're looking for as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I think NowSite can kind of help me a little bit more with that. That's
NowSite is, I'm telling you right now, NowSite is the way to go. This is somebody that either A, doesn't have NowSite, or like I said, low grade stuff. I use everything through NowSite because it archives them into lists within the system itself. Here, you're going to have to export them and import them over there and so on. I would just stick to NowSite if you have it. But like I said, it's better than having nothing. And I'm not saying about you, Michael, I'm saying in general, the biggest challenge for most loan officers or realtors or anything is that they're just simply not doing, not enough, but they're just not doing a whole lot. And so it at least points you in the right direction. Now, once you get this and you see how good it can be, how bad it can be, then you're going to say, well, what if this system had a built-in email autoresponder? Well, go to NowSite, go to the big boys. NowSite's the way to go long-term.
The reason I was asking is because I did a successful virtual event and I got about 38 people. And now I just want to cultivate, I got 5 people out of there, but I just want to continue to cultivate because I know they have an interest in buying.
Yes.
So that's why I was asking you.
You should have your master home buyers, potential home buyers list going and feed it all into that, and then periodically update them. When FHA loan limits are increased, let them know immediately. When this takes place, let them know immediately. Housing, anything, any communication is good. But like I said, especially when it comes to, but you have to have a master list of your home buyers. If I show my list, you wouldn't believe it. I have a teachers. I have a list of principals. I have principals after Thanksgiving turkey giveaways, dinners before, Christmas giveaways. I put everybody in the list somewhere, and some of them are in multiple lists, and that's fine because you can customize the message by simply starting, instead of saying hello prospect, It'll just say, hello, Michael, it's Javier. Met you at the turkey giveaway. Just hoping all is well. I'll stay in touch with you. If you have any needs in the field of real estate or mortgages, reach out to me. Here's my name and phone number. We have programs just for teachers and their families. Talk to you soon. Simple. And let the system automate it as well. Can anybody tell me if the form pops up? What I just chatted away?
Yeah, it popped up.
Okay.
When you go there, it says it's got your required. It says it's got your email, and then it says switch account. Do you know what that means?
That's probably you with Google because it's a Google form. I have multiple. The one I sent you should just be a form to fill out. Email, full name, and cell phone number. Do you see that like on the screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Can I explain the switch email? Sometimes we have more than one email and the system captures one
There you
or
go.
the other. Then you choose whichever you want it to be sent.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, if the link is working, that's good to go. That's really what I wanted to do. And so, like I said, just follow those instructions. It's a lifetime account. It's free. But like I said, yeah, if you're willing to get the steroids onto your marketing, now side is the way to go. I mean, I'm not going to try to say it. This is just like I say, if you don't have it or just want to start automating your marketing, but the other one is the way to go. But it's a powerful tool because you can learn how to deliver a specific message to a specific set of people. And the most powerful thing a marketer can learn how to do is how to customize the message to his or her audience. I'm talking to a teacher differently than I am to a police officer, different than I am to a principal, then so on and so on and so on. If no one has any questions for me, unmute yourself. If you do right now, I'm gonna hand it off to Rhett to see what he got. But I just want to say, and maybe Rhett can update us on the logo because I know some of you are waiting for shirts. We got events coming up. I know I need some banners made, but I don't know where the logo stands today. So maybe Rhett can start with that, and then we'll go ahead and take it from there as well. Rhett, it's all yours, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Javier. Good morning, everybody. Real quick on the logo, I'm completely disenchanted with our logos that we've had so far. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the logo, to be honest with you. I don't like the one that we just got. I have another one, graphics guy that sent me over something this last week that's closer to what I think we're going to wind up with. And I apologize. We've just been so busy with everything else. I will make an effort to try and get this done this week and put it to bed. It's been going on way too long, and we need to get it done. Not much this week as far as new information from me. A couple things. You may have heard that Zillow is getting out of the iBuying business. So I think that for all of our realtor associates out there, that should be a good thing for our business anyway. Although it's interesting, Zillow, they just went crazy, and they sold over 3,000 homes in the third quarter, but they bought almost 10,000 homes, and they were buying these homes over market and then actually listing a lot of them for less money than they bought them for. I actually had a good friend of mine that I had listed their house, and they decided that they were going to hold off on selling, so we took it off the market. And I got a call from them about 2 months ago, and they forwarded me the offer they got from Zillow on their canceled listing. And it was probably, I think it was $20,000 over what we listed for, and probably right at market, if not a little bit over market, when I looked at what was going on at that moment. And I told them, I said, if you want to sell, take the offer. It's a really, really good offer. I was actually surprised when he called me first. I said, well, I don't think they're going to give you an offer anywhere near what you want to sell for. And then when he sent it to me, I had to call him back, and and tell him, I said, I was very surprised how high the offer was. But they got themselves in trouble. They lost over $300 million in the third quarter. Actually over 400 million just on their iBuying, but overall company wise, they lost a little over 300 million. And so they have what they said is they're pausing it. They're killing it. They're laying off over 1,500 people, and they're going to be focused more on some of the other areas. Some of you may know, last month they closed a deal and they bought showing time for over $500 million. And I think they're going to be focused on some more advertising, more selling leads than buying properties at this point. They have a huge inventory of properties. And one of the things that they talked about is how their algorithm, although may be good for current pricing, it's not performing well for them, giving them an accurate indication of where the market's going to go, which that's part of having a realtor, is understanding what's going on in the local market. It's not just about numbers, and it can't always be calculated by an algorithm. It takes a personal approach to it, and that's why we're in business. That's otherwise everything. I mean, eventually, I think they'll figure this out as the artificial intelligence gets better and all the different pieces come together. I think eventually realtors and loan officers will be forced out, where we're just kind of an ancillary specialty that we get involved if there's a problem, but for the most part, everything's done electronically. And we've seen more and more of that through automated underwriting, different things. I remember when automated underwriting first came out and it started doing conventional loans. And we said it will never happen for FHA because FHA is just too complicated, because there's too much underwriter discretion when it comes to credit. Well, then they figured it out. And so I think long term, 3 to 5 years from now, I think they probably will figure it out. And it will make our business a lot more difficult. But for the next 3 to 5 years, I think we've got a great opportunity ahead of us. And again, it's about personal relationships. It's about understanding the local market. And I don't mean your neighborhood. Real estate doesn't happen in neighborhoods anymore. I mean, I can become an expert in any market that I can drive to and pull up Google information on in a matter of a few hours. But it's about being able to have that personal touch. Eliseo, my brother-in-law, he spends so much time with his clients on the lending side, and just going through and explaining everything and making sure they understand everything about their transaction. And at the end of the day, he gets a tremendous amount of referrals. I think I mentioned to you, I mean, he averages, I think he hit 45 deals, 45 transactions last month for the year, and all his business came from open houses. Now, he just started doing open houses again. I'm talking about open houses he did over a year ago. He's still getting referrals and clients from all of that those old leads. So it's because of all the time he spends in the personal relationship that he develops with his buyers, and he does a tremendous amount of repeat business. So I think that this is a good thing for us, Zillow getting out of the system, out of the market. I think that there's going to be a lot of other companies out there who may have been thinking about jumping in because Zillow has just been going nuts with it, that may be having second thoughts about that. Because if I mean, it literally has put Zillow in a precarious position at this point, as far as financially, and they're going to wind up taking, I think, probably a bigger loss in the fourth quarter and first quarter of next year than they did in the third quarter. So I think it's something that other players out there are going to probably take a second look at maybe not getting into that business. The only other news we really had this week was interesting article that came out about Fannie and Freddie's adverse marketing fee. If you remember what this was a 0.5 point extra fee put on to cash out refis by Fannie and Freddie. And it happened back in the end of March of last year. And it created, it made interest rates go up about 0.25 point overnight, literally. And they just removed it here about 45 days ago. And because of that fee, Fannie and Freddie made an extra $5.3 billion just from that fee over the last year and a half. The only good thing about that is that it allowed them to cover over 70% of their COVID relief programs. So what it means for us as loan officers and realtors is the system was able to basically take care of itself in an extremely volatile, potentially volatile and disastrous situation. You know, we all remember very clearly what happened back in 2007, 2008. And it was handled completely different back then than it was handled now. And back then it was a freaking disaster for all of us. And this time we weathered it and came out looking really good, actually. As of, I think it was July, which is the last number I saw, forbearances were down to 1.6% of all mortgages, which is nothing. So, you know, I think that we've weathered the storm on all of that. And what I don't know is, you know, they were predicting that we were going to see a lot of foreclosures. I don't, you know, because of people not being able to complete their workout plans from the forbearance correction, that everybody was going to either have to come up with money or add it to the end. And it sounded as if they were expecting a lot of people to lose their homes. That still may happen. I haven't seen any really good data on that yet. But I don't know that we're going to see much of that. I think that most of the companies have been able to work out, or most of the borrowers have been able to work out, do their workouts to get current. We do deals literally, I mean, every week we have deals come in that were on forbearance, that have completed their workout, put the payments to the end, and are now showing us current. And we can immediately do loans on them. We don't even have to wait the 3 months anymore. So I think we're through the negative times pretty much on that. Although it wouldn't be bad if we did see some foreclosures. I think it maybe get some properties back into the inventory, but I don't think we're going to see many. Nothing like what they were initially anticipating back 6 months ago. So other than that, interest rates actually trended down a little bit this week. Last 3 weeks they've been trending up. This week they actually trended down. I saw I locked 2 deals yesterday that from the time we originated to the time we locked, which is about 12, 14 days, pricing got better by 0.5 point, which is always exciting. So that's good news. Other than that, I think the we're going into now. I know a lot of people think that the holidays are a tough time to do business, and it is a tough time to show properties. However, I will tell you that in the last 6 years, December, every year except for one, which was not last year, but the previous, in the last 6 years, every year except for one, December was our best month. So don't be thinking that you can't do any business in December. I guarantee you can do business in December, and set yourself up for a good, good 2022. Javier's always talking about this. If you're thinking about December right now, you're thinking about the wrong time. You should already be thinking about the first quarter of next year. But what I don't want you to do is forget about December. Don't think that because it's the holidays, you're not going to be doing business, because I guarantee you there's a lot of business out there to be done. And it's just a matter of who's going to get it and who's available to go after this market, because people are still looking to buy homes. People are still looking to sell homes. People are still looking to refi. People are still looking to get cash out. There's a tremendous amount of equity out there in homes that is still looking to be tapped. And it's a great time because people are already thinking about, well, I know I'm going to spend money for Christmas. I know I'm going to be spending money on all this stuff. And come January, I'm going to have to pay those bills. So don't take the month of December off. I guarantee you're going to be disappointed. And if you take the month of December off, it'll be February, end of February or March before you can get going again. So, take a few days off, celebrate the holidays, but take advantage of this time. I love December because I know that I'm always going to be busy, and I just look at it that way, and it's always worked out that way. So, Javier, that's all I got.
Perfect. Thank you, Red, so much. Appreciate that. And I'm there with Red. Don't write off the month of December. I think, if anything, it serves as a great catalyst to make conversations and start conversations with people without having to come across as a just direct salesperson, if you would. Just very lightly touch the subject, how's everything going? Hey, I don't want to talk about this right now because we're here for celebration purposes, but I'll give you a call around next week or sometime to discuss where the market is or something like that, but just really lightly. But don't write it off, because just like Red says, if you write off December, you're writing off December and January, and we want everybody to come out of the gate January 1st, and full throttle, not necessarily get ready and getting ready to get started. A lot of people spend their entire lives getting ready to get ready. And so that's, one of the piece of advice I got a long time ago when they told me to stop stopping and quitting. And that's what I mean. We sometimes pause ourselves, quit ourselves, or stop our businesses for silly things because of one day, Thanksgiving Day in November, we write off the whole month, and because of Christmas and Christmas Eve for 2 days, we write off the whole month of December. And then because of January 1st, we write off all of January. We don't want to do that. And so we're all big boys and big girls, and I think you know what I'm talking about, that there's never been a better time to be in business than right now. You've never had more tools at your disposal than right now. It's just a matter of you doing your part to make sure that, again, you are deploying them when need to, which is right now, so that we can have a record-breaking first quarter of 2022. Any questions from anybody at this point before we wrap it up? Questions, comments, concerns? I'm going to leave the link for the form in the description section of the actual video on YouTube. So if you are watching the recording, please like the video and make sure that you subscribe. And the reason I keep asking like the video all the time is not because I have an ego and I want to see more likes. No, it helps in our ranking. That's how Google, which owns YouTube, ranks all the videos based on likes, meaning that it's content people want to see and so on, which helps raise awareness for all of our sake as it relates to reading mortgage bank, MLOs, NMLS, and so on as well. Unmute yourself at this time if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I want to thank everybody. I'm getting a request for the QR code, which I'm going to get on the screen one more time so you can get a good shot of it with your phone. If you are interested in donating for the Thanksgiving dinner that we are doing, we'll announce to those that donated when we do them. So if you want to show up and hand the people the food yourself, you can do that. If not, it's okay. We'll do it for you or on your behalf. But you should see on the screen the tax-deductible donation link. Just scan it with your phone. That's all you have to do. And let me just go in here and make sure I thank anybody. Let's see. I'm pulling up my PayPal app. Let's see. Trying to see. Reggie Foster. Thank you, Reggie. Yeah, that's all we got was Reggie Foster. But everybody else, if you want to do it later on, just go ahead and scan the QR code. I'm telling you, man, when you have less is when we should give more. This is just my personal experience, the way I have experienced it myself, and it is what it is. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for all that you do. I really hope that you take this information, the tools, and apply them today. And never, never, never forget that your number one job is to market yourself, your services, all the time, anywhere you go. And it doesn't mean be an annoying individual, but just have that marketer's mindset to look for an opportunity that you can capitalize on at a later time as well. All right. If no one has anything else, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay healthy as well. Thank you.